Hey, this is Jesse James from Black Fork Lawn and Snow. Today I want to just give you guys a backstory on why and how I got started in lawn and landscape and why I started a YouTube channel. Stick around. Alright, I just want to start off by just saying where I got started and my first time mowing a yard, or the first time being on a lawnmower. It was about, I don't know, maybe 95. I was just 4 or 5 years old. I was about 5 years old. Let's say I was, for the sake of argument, let's say I was 5 years old. My mom was working, and I don't remember a lot from that time, but I do remember this vividly. So I was 5 years old. My dad was inside, hammered ass drunk, and he had a John Deere. It was a 1989 John Deere garden tractor. And that thing is a beast. It had a big Kawasaki engine on it. That mower, I don't know where it's at today, but man, that mower is tough. But it was 95. Dad was hammered drunk, and he always let me just ride around the yard on the John Deere. Well, he said, yeah, you can go ride around or whatever. So I went outside, and I didn't realize that he had went inside to sit down for a minute. He ended up sitting down and passing out. So I'm just riding around the yard, just doing my thing, and there was a big tile, and there was a big tile in the yard. And I remember, like, I tried to move, but like they don't sit down mowers don't turn like that. So I slammed into it, scared the dog. I slammed into it, and the garden tractor tires were, I mean, they were meaty tires, and they were just digging, because I wasn't going nowhere. This tile was every bit of this big around. It was a huge tile in the yard, drainage tile, and I got stuck up against it, and it was just digging. I jumped off the mower because I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to like I couldn't even reach the brake or clutch. So like, I panicked. I jump off, and the tractor's still running. Like, it's still running, digging, and then it dug down. From what I remember, I could be exaggerating, and I'll double check with my mom, and I'll fill you back in just in case. But I had to have dug in at least 8 inches into the ground, just letting that tractor go. Because I remember being outside kind of panicking. I was kind of hiding behind the garage. And I remember my mom pulling in, and she about beat my dad to death. Like, it was one of his not so proudest moments. But, you know, being as a father now, like, I'm not saying I'm ever going to do it. There's any excuse for that. But you can kind of see where. But that was my first time being on a lawnmower that I can recollect. Moving on to it, my dad always had lawn care accounts, and so growing up being a kid and, you know, hanging out with him here and there and stuff, every now when we did hang out, and I thought it was fun, but I got to do his accounts for him. That was like a thing. So lawn care to me is like it reminds me of my father, and that's where I gained the passion from. I do remember this one instance where I was mowing my Uncle Mike's house, and they had lived across the street from each other, and Dad was like, all right, you've been watching me here in these past few weekends when you come over, blah, 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 blah. Go ahead and mow your Uncle Mike's yard. Let's see how you do. This is my first time actually mowing, trying to do a good job. Well, I never mowed my Uncle Mike's property. So, like, all you guys know, when you mow a property, it's kind of like, you want to get the feel for it, you know what I mean? Because you ain't mowed it yet, so you don't know, you know what I mean? Well, I start getting really nervous because I want to cut it out on the outside. For some reason, I'm just mowing, and then I like turn off, and like I'm just mowing away thinking I'm doing a great job. And then my dad, like I said, they were neighbors. My Uncle Mike's just sitting there on the front porch watching me. He don't really care too much. My dad comes running over, and he stops me from mowing, and it looks like a freaking golf course. Like, you got low, smooth grass coming down over here. You got tall grass on the sides, and you go over there to like, I was spot mowing and didn't even realize it. I don't know why I did it. I can't really remember too much, but I do remember getting yelled at by my dad about it. Of course, my uncle didn't really care, but like, I do remember that being one of the first times I was actually mowing and making a mistake. But that's where I developed my passion for it, because you can take something. The reason I have the passion for lawn care, and I've had it for a long time, is you can it's instant. I'm an instant results kind of person. All right, after I messed up my uncle's yard pretty bad, obviously Dad walked me through the process of what I was doing wrong and how to correct it. So I continued to work with him whenever I'd go see him every few weekends or whatever the court had decided at that time. He showed me how to mow and how to do this. So like, obviously, you know, like I said, my mom and dad got divorced. Like, so I had to mow my mom's yard. So we got a push mower, and that's where I really learned how to like really cut grass. Was mowing my mom's yard, because when you're push mowing and it's 100 degrees and you know where you can take some shortcuts, you think about it. And I'd be lying to you today if I said that I took off and I was just mowing perfect. No, man, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've shortcut a lot of stuff. There was an old pine tree that's cut down now, but I would never mow back there. I would never mow it. Mom used to get so mad because like she worked 2 jobs. She didn't have time to like go double check everything I mow. But I remember all the times like I'd be getting yelled at and I'd have to go mow. Mom would yell at me to go mow the yard again. Like, cause I just wanted to hurry up, get the yard done, and go play with my friends. Like, you'd look out in the yard, you'd look out the porch, you'd be like, and there'd be streaks of like mow, and there'd be like lines where like, I don't know, I've made a lot of mistakes with it. So just being told no and taught how to actually do it, and years and years and years of doing it, and what it's really started to, when I really took it really serious was about high school. I started helping my dad off and on. He mowed a property for, you know, he mowed a couple churches, a couple properties for family members, and I was starting to get some money for it. That's when it really took off and it clicked. Like, man, I've been helping. This is why. So I'm starting to develop a passion for it because I see the opportunity of making money. 2008, I graduate high school, go into the factory life, and I'm liking that. I'm joining them. I become a painter, and that's another powder coat is. This ain't a powder coat channel, but I love that line of work a lot. But to 2013, my dad ended up passing away. Congestive heart failure is what it is. That was a really, really rough year. I ended up beginning in 2014, another bad thing happened. I got fired from my job for attendance. One thing caused another domino effect, and I just couldn't handle it. You know, I was 22, 23, and 24 when I got fired, and it was just a really, really hard time. So, like, I don't really know how to do a lot outside of the factory life. Like, what am I going to do for a living, you know? I'm back. I lost my apartment, lost my house, everything. I'm back living at my mom's house. I'm 23 years old, 24, whatever. What do I do? So I'm sitting here just depressed, mad at the world, mad at myself. Woo, woe is me, you know? So the only thing I know how to do was mow grass, and I've been doing that for years. But at first I really didn't even consider it like even an option, because like people look at like, and it's changing now. It's this whole thing's changing. People look at lawn care like, oh, you mow grass, you're on drugs. Or, oh, you're a roofer, okay, go ahead and call your PO because I already know you're a drug addict. Like, that connotation happens with certain jobs. And like, I know roofers who are small business guys who make buku bucks. But then there's also them roofers who happen to be on drugs. But that's not the point. The same with lawn care. People just treat them with disrespect. So like, I didn't consider that a job. I just lost a job making $400, $450 a week, and I thought that was the end of the world. So I'm looking around on YouTube, and I find Geek to Freak Fitness. I'm like, this dude is for real. Like, and he explained a lot of his videos. You guys all know who Geek to Freak is. He's the legend of lawn care vlogs. So like, I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. So I go out, I start me a little Facebook page, and I bombed instantly. Alright, so I tried to start my own outfit. I think I was trying to call it, I can't remember, I think it was like JJ Professional Services or J&J Services, something like that, JJ something.
make my Facebook page. I go out and get a loan for, at that time I had pretty decent credit. Still. Another story. I go out and get a, what was it, about 2008 or 2010 Dodge Ram 2500. It was all white. It was really nice. I had that for a couple years, but I'll go out and get that. I didn't have a trailer, but I had ramps. So I had a John Deere 110, just a little lawn tractor. It wasn't necessarily a garden tractor, but it was just your normal sit-down mower. You know, it did all right, did the job. I think it was a 36-inch cut. I don't remember how I got that mower. I have no idea, can't remember, but Connor, the weird turn of events, I sold it to a dude on Craigslist who, a buddy of mine, James, bought it, and Connor bought it off him. Now it's sitting in Connor's dad's garage. So that's a really weird turn of events, because I was talking with Connor about that a couple of weeks ago, about that mower, and he's like, oh, you know, and he told me that he actually bought it and how the story went. It's side tangent. I just thought it was kind of cool. But anyway, I had, Dad had given me an old Stihl weed eater, is an FS90, I believe it was. It was kind of his, but like he had an extra one, so I was just using it. And like, so I had a weed eater and I had a mower. I didn't have a blower, I had a broom, and that's what I was trying to do. And like, I would just do my mom's yard, and Dad felt bad for me because I was bombing so bad that he would pay me to cut his yard. And I would mow the church for him, and he'd give me half the money on a couple of his accounts because I would actually be doing the work, and he'd sit there and drink some beers, which I don't blame him. But yeah, I totally bombed right away, and like, I just kept going back to what, like, before I went back to factory, I mean, I tried. I really give her the old college try. What I did is I jumped into it way too soon. Like I said, I was watching these Geek to Freak videos, and like, this is probably 2014, 15, so like, I'm pretty sure it was Keith Kelfis. I know it was Keith Kelfis. I'm pretty sure it was Johnny Moe too, where I was watching his videos, and like, Keith Kelfis, I still watch a lot of his stuff today. Like, he had me so pumped up, you know what I mean? So that's why I just jumped into it thinking, but now I know a little bit better. Like, at that time, I bombed so bad because I didn't have another job to supplement while my company grew. I tried to make it happen too fast. This time, I'm laid off right now. I took a voluntary layoff, and I'm trying it. So like, I'm not saying I don't believe in myself, but there's a chance that in this area, people in this area make the average household median income, I think, is only $36,000 a year. So for a luxury like lawn and landscape, it's hard to do it in this community. So I know I'm going to have to travel a little bit or target certain areas. Every other lawn and landscaper is targeting them areas. So this time, I'm on a layoff. I have, I'm trying to do everything the right way, and I have a fallback just in case everything doesn't work out the same way. But it's already taken off a whole lot better than what it has been. So yeah, I just totally bombed, man. Like, and then them few years was pretty rough. I went back into the factory life and hated every single minute of it. Like, hated it. Like, I learned a lot of good trade. Like, I stepped out of the powder coating and went into welding. And I did MIG welding for a long time and TIG welding. I love TIG welding and MIG welding too. So it's like, the work I was doing wasn't bad. Like, I enjoyed the work, and all the guys I worked with a couple of different shops that I worked in, man, I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. I love powder coating. I'm really good at that. And I'm actually a really, really good TIG welder. I'm pretty decent at MIG welding. It's not the work that I hated. It was the fact of, all right, here's $400 for the week. When in lawn and landscape, you can make that in a day. Like, and that's not even like astronomical or you got to be big time. That's, you can make 400. Like, that's what you're going to try to get is 400 a day. Granted, like, you're off in the winters unless you supplement it with snow. But that's what I hated, man. I hated sitting back and like someone barking and telling at you, or if you're like 30 seconds late or 1 second late, you're going to get an occurrence. And I get it, punctuality is very important, especially as me being a small business owner. I want to hire people, and I hope they're punctual as possible. But like, when you have to be at work at 5:45 in the morning, and I had to be there at 5:15 because I was a group leader, man, it's hard. It's hard some days, and you're working every single day. Sometimes when you're on 12-hour shifts, man, it gets super hard. So I'm back in these factories for all these years, and it gets to be about 2015, 16, somewhere around it. 2015, moved down to Kentucky with Kayla. So like we're living down there, and like I always in the back of my head for all these years I want to start a lawn care business, and I got chopping it up with a couple guys I work with, and we're bouncing the idea back. And I never made that jump again because I was always kind of nervous because I remember how bad I bombed the first time. Kayla's dad, my father-in-law, we chopped it up back and forth about starting a lawn and landscape business, and because he used to do that years ago whenever, his family was really young back in the early 90s and stuff. So it's like, I've always had that idea, like, this is what I'm going to do. I've always known this is what I'm good. This ain't just a thing that I'm into right now and I'm going to jump out of. Like, this is what I want to do. How do I do it? Because I don't want to bomb like I did before. I don't want to fall flat on my fucking face and just turn to shit. So, I'm living down in Kentucky, and work's changing. I'm in a factory, and it's just, I just know, like, management changed, the company sold, and it was just my opportunity I got a call saying, hey, you want to come back to Midwest, factory I work at up here. So I took that jump, had an opportunity to buy a trailer. This is where I'm at now. But I don't feel, it's just not right. It's just not fair. It's what I always felt like. I'm taking a job that someone else would really, really want, and I'm here being miserable. I'm here stuck. So, like, I've been contemplating it for all these years, how I'm going to make this move, but how am I going to protect myself? They offered this layoff, and I knew about it. It was the end of June. I signed up for this layoff for 2 weeks. That's when me and Connor sat down, because he knows everybody. Connor knows everybody. So, like, he already had a bunch of accounts. I'm new back to the area. It's still my hometown. People know me, but, like, I'm new back living here. And, like, I had the passion, and I had a trailer, I had weed eaters and stuff. He had a mower, like I had we had everything together, but we didn't have it individually. So he had the accounts and a mower, I had everything else. So we said, all right, let's just 50-50 partner it up. What do you say? We said, all right, cool, bet. So that's what we do. We sit here in this, I call it a garage, but it's not a garage. Anyway, we sit here in this garage. In my office here, we're just chopping it up. All this was different there. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to do it. He's calling people and saying, yeah, I'm going to take that. Yeah, if you still want me to mow your yard? Yeah, bet I'll do it. Hey, you still got this? Yeah, bet we'll do it. And then, like, I make a Facebook page. And it's changed a lot. It's changed a lot since then. And, like, my YouTube stuff has changed a lot. Like, I've deleted videos. Like, my first video was, I was sitting on our Gravely mower that we had put together, like, this song, like, I wish I wouldn't have deleted this video, but a Gravely mower that we had in a couple of videos that you've seen, it was broke down. So, like, I borrowed my Uncle Mike's sit-down mower. It's a 7-speed shift on the go. And, like, I was so mad in this video. It's, like, my first YouTube video, I have no idea what I was doing. Like, I get off the mower, and, like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I know I want to start a YouTube channel. How am I going to do it? Everybody says, don't start a YouTube channel. That is stupid. Like, you're not going to get any views. And what? You're going to record yourself mowing grass? People's going to think that's cool, mowing grass? I'm like, yeah. Yeah. So, like, thinking in my head, I'm like, maybe they're right. But, like, I watch lawn videos, but I'm a weirdo. So, like, maybe I'm like, So I'm like, all right. I'm thinking about it. I'm on this sit-down rider. Sit down. Like 7-speed MTD shift on the go, Troy built. I'm like, I'm thinking in my head the whole time. I'm listening to it wasn't a podcast. I was listening to an audio book. I can't remember offhand which one it was. I'll link it in the description below probably, if I remember. So don't count on it. But I'm listening to an audiobook and I'm getting pumped up. And, like, at that time, I started listening to a lot of Keith Kelfett, or watching a lot of Keith Kelfett's stuff. And that dude will, like, he just gets me pumped up about starting business. So I said, all right, I'm making a YouTube video right now. So I'm out in the middle of nowhere on this big commercial property. I just jump off the mower and I just take my phone out and I just start rambling. I'm nervous. My heart was pumping like crazy. No one was even there, and I haven't even posted it yet. But I'm super nervous. I'm like, it was just not a good video. And like, it was about 2 minutes long. And then I hit post. I threw the phone in my truck. Didn't go. Went back to mowing. And like, no hits. Nothing. Of course, because I didn't know how to title it. Didn't know what a thumbnail was. It was. I really, really wish I could have access to that now, but I've got a different phone since then, and I've deleted everything. My second video that I also deleted, it was just me sitting on the porch rambling. Like, I didn't know how to title these videos. So, like, after a couple of days, I'm thinking, man, maybe YouTube, maybe I'm better just to watch YouTube instead of try to be a creator. So, I just said, you know what? If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna give her one more shot. The old shot in the dark. So I just started Googling and YouTubing how to YouTube, you know. And I find a couple different apps. And that's where we lead today. Like, my channel, my videos are nowhere near where I want them to be. My business, lawn care business, is nowhere near where I want to be. But I've been on the opposite end of starting a lawn care business and trying to make it happen. And you're forcing something that it isn't supposed to be. Johnny Moe, another one of my favorite YouTubers, he talks about branch theology. And you grow slow like a branch. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to rush. I'm not going to go out and go get debt on a truck like I did before and then not get no accounts. I'm just going to go slow with it. If YouTube works, it works. I'm really happy that I'm doing it now. Because, like, it's just a lot of fun. That's why I'm doing it. Like, why did I even start it? I've always wanted to. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm selfish, maybe, like, I joke around. I don't know what it is. It's just something like, if I'm watching other people, I can do the same thing they're doing. Why can't I do it? Now, I know they get a little bit of a revenue stream. Is YouTube about a revenue stream for me? Nah, not really. But I'd be lying to you to say, hey, I'd like a little kickback, you know what I mean, for a little advertise, like, you know what I mean? But that's all stuff that's going to come in time. And am I going to monetize the channel? Maybe. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But I've already met quite a bit of good people on here. And that's another reason why I'm doing it, man. Just the people who came before me and built businesses up and who are successful, guess what? They've had failures too. So that's why I'm glad I'm documenting all my failures. In a year from now, I can look back, because here, I've always, like, I got journals all over the house. From, I don't know, 2010, maybe, I think is the oldest one I can find. But, like, with YouTube, I don't have to sit and write and forget. Like, I can just document my journey as I go. I really enjoy vlogging. It's a lot of fun. And this business, obviously you guys are watching it, and I appreciate it. There's things that I want to do. I want to have, my goals for next year is to have 50 accounts, and hopefully I can give them full service. I really like the grasshopper line. I want to stick with that. I want to get a new trailer. I want to sell my truck. Like, there's a lot of things I want to do, but I'm really inspired by it. This isn't a thing. I want to make it work. Like, I'm just so happy that, like, people are even watching me. I never thought people would even enjoy me. So, here we are. We're, I don't know, making at least, I think, 4 or 5 videos a week. That's going to obviously get scaled back, but that's why I started YouTube, like, just to document my journey and, like, give back to someone who else would like to start in it. Like, when you watch my channel, you see where I started from. I'm trying to get bigger. So it's like, that was my point. I want to document everything I'm doing so someone else can come along and they can be like, look where that guy started. Or when my son's a little bit older, You know, he's just a little baby, but like I can hand him my whole business. And like he doesn't have to be working in a factory, living paycheck to paycheck. That's all you're ever going to do in a factory is live paycheck to paycheck. But I can build a business and I can have him work for me. I don't know when he gets old enough to work for me, whenever that is. I'm 9, 10, maybe 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't know. So when he's like, I don't know, maybe, let's say 10. Let's say 10, he starts helping me out, starts hanging around the garage or whatever. When he gets to be, let's say when he's driving. When he's driving and he's honestly really working, not just being like the boss's kid, when he's actually really working for me, I'm going to start gearing him up to take over. And then I want to get out. You know what I mean? I want to hand him this, and he can run everything, and I want to leave. I know I'll never be able to do that in a factory. When you're working in a factory, man, you're working for somebody else's dream. I want to build my own dream. If I'm going to work for somebody, why not work for yourself and build up your own account? There's plenty of grass out there. It snows every year. There's plenty of snow, there's plenty of grass, and like, we can't mow it all. I can't mow it all. The guys over here can't mow it all. So there's money to be made. It's just, are you willing to get up every day and go get it? Are you willing to invest in yourself to go get the equipment that can handle it? Because you know what sucks is when you've got a couple accounts that you know you shouldn't have because your equipment can't handle it. I've already found that out firsthand, but I have some people who are good guys backing me and helping me get through. I don't know, guys. That's kind of like a little bit of my backstory. I just wanted to fill you in real quick. Like, this is who I am. You know, I'm here to stay. I'm here to build this YouTube channel up. I'm here to build my business up, and I want you guys to come along with me. I want you to follow my journey on here. Maybe in a year or two from now, we could all sit back in the comment sections and laugh and joke at my first videos of the junk equipment that I was using because I'm rolling around in something a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see what happens. See you guys later.